Hi, happy Monday, guys. Oh, this lighting feels really bright. Hold on. Why is it so bright? 1 second. Bear with me 1 minute, I'll sort that out, but welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny, and manifesting the life you desire, and I go live every Monday and Friday. So if you're watching this on replay, please be sure to join us. Just bring your question and receive a free tarot reading. For those who are in the chat and here today, if you would like a free reading, as usual, just click the link in the pinned comment and you'll be added to the list. How I read, I'm an energy reader tuning into you in your situation to bring you clarity, to bring you insight. Please provide as much context and detail as possible in your question. I don't do yes/no questions or timelines. And please hold your question until called. If there's no response, you'll be skipped just to keep the questions going, the readings flowing. Please keep the chat respectful, so no self-promo, off-topic advice or key pushing, please. And don't comment on other people's readings unless it's supportive, encouraging, and please do allow me to read without interruptions and allow them to flow in divine timing. And if you want to know where you are in the queue, just check out the chat for list updates. So I always post regularly, but let's get into it. I'm going to sort out this lighting and then I will post the list. How's everyone doing? Hey Samreen, hey Eco7, hey Miller, Nettie, Tia Bia, lovely to see you all. Danny baby, I think I saw. Eco7, you're first on the list, my love, if you want to post your question. 1 second. And, oh, I forgot to mention that my cat is joining me today. This is Hannah. I wish she'd go face first, but she's decided to go tail end. So I hope you all like cats. And I think that's a little bit better with the lighting. Let me know in the chat, guys. But that looks a bit better. And anyone who is interested, I'm using the Urban Seer tarot deck today. But let's get into it. So, Eco7, thank you. May I know the current energy surrounding my store name? Is that, what do you mean by that, Eco7? Do you mean, is it a good name? How is it received? Tell me a little bit more about, explore that question so I can understand exactly what I'm finding out. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you here. I'll just check who's next on the list as well. So after Eco7, Tia B, my love, you are next. So just be ready. I'm just waiting for clarification from Eco, and then Tia will be next. So what is it that you would like to know about Find the name and what you're exploring. Hey, Danny baby. Tia, are you here, my love? Just give me a shout if you're here. Danny, you're after Tia Bea, so you're third on the list. So Tia Bea, you can go ahead and post your question. I'm still not quite sure what Eco 7. Should I change it? Okay. Thanks, Tia. So Eco wants to know if she should change the store name. Interesting. 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles is about going through a difficult time, yeah, in some respects. So the 5 of Pentacles can be if maybe I know you've had some struggles. I don't know how it's going sales-wise or where you're at now, particularly Eco 7 on your journey. But does it feel like this kind of energy? 5 of Pentacles is like going through a snowy storm, often feeling disappointed, down, poverty consciousness. And it's not, so Eco 7 says yes, so it's not going really how you want it to go, how you expected it to go. Now the good thing here, Eco 7, is that with a 5, that this will pass. So this is just a phase. 5 always comes in. It feels really quite intense at the time, dramatic even. I always think the 5 has a kind of dramatic energy, but it leaves as quickly as it intensifies, as it comes in, and it feels like, it brings up doubt. Is this ever gonna work out? Am I gonna, all those thoughts? Is it ever gonna work out? Am I ever gonna get to where I want to be? So I think that this changing the name is like a decoy and a diversion, and it won't change. Maybe you're thinking it's this, and kind of scrapping around thinking, what do I need to do differently? And I think this won't make a difference. It won't shift. We just need to keep going with this and allow it to pass. And I think changing the name is maybe like a panic move, and is because we're in this energy. Maybe later on, if it niggles with you and you don't feel happy with it, then, and that continues, then by all means explore that. But right now it's not going to change this feeling. It's not going to shift this energy. We just need to wait this out. Be consistent. Pentacles is just about, even in the hard times, showing up, doing what needs to be done. And the 5 of Pentacles is the promise that it will pass. And I don't think changing the name is not part of this energy. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I would wait as well, if you do want to change it still further down the line, wait until we're feeling better, when we're in a more positive place. Keep us posted, Eco, okay? So thank you, Tia. This is for you. Tia's posted a question. So, hi, Esther Pisces and I went on a date this weekend. Communication has been good between us. Awesome. Would love to know an energy check on how he feels about me and maybe intentions. Absolutely. You're welcome, Eco. Hang fire on the name, hang fire. So, Tia, let's have a look at your Pisces. What's going on with them? Ooh. Didn't this come up before? I feel like it did. Major Arcana. So there is this transformation, because I know every time I read for the energy between you two, Tia, it's often quite profound in many ways, in that, you know, there's some kind of fresh start, a new beginning happening for you both. So this is their thoughts, this is their feelings. The Death card is a card of transformation. It's some old way about how they used to function, how they lived their life, how they interacted in relationships is closing out, is changing. And there's a rebirth. So as much as this is the Death card, which often people freak out about, have like negative connotations, but the Death card, if you just look at it, it's actually just a rebirth. That's another word that you can describe it. So it's more just like a death of the old. So within the relationship, they are going through transformation for themselves. This relationship something with you feels different. So I don't know what the communication was about, if it got deep, if you shared maybe about where you're at, feelings, past relationships, stuff like that, if you're getting into those conversations. One more, Spirit. One more. Oh, and there we go, 3 of Cups alongside it, which is confirmation that this is positive change, needs to happen, because the 3 of Cups is a card of celebration. These people are raising a cup. They're having a good time as well. You know, the 3 of Cups is a light energy, like maybe the energy between you can be fun, uplifting, but there is something a significant shift. So there's this good energy here, social, raising a glass, having a good time, celebrating the connection. But underneath, there is something quite profound going on here. Some revelations, a shift in perspective, a death of the old ways. We got pretty deep, says Tia. Yeah. So maybe you're mirroring that as well, because I think the energies that we looked at here in the past as well, that's happening for them and that's happening for you. This is like there's potential here to do things differently. So good read, intense read. Keep us posted, Tia. Thank you, Danny, for your question. So Shraddha, you're on the list. Just watch out for updates. Hey Sonali, glad you made it. You're also on the list. Danny, my love. So after Danny, we have Venny. So if you want to be ready to post your question after Danny, please, Venny. And Danny, baby, this is for you. So a reading on my relationship with Greg the Aries. I remember about this Aries. We spoke about pouring from an empty cup. It was hard for him to explain what he wants in life. I don't think he ever thought of it. Interesting. When he asked, the first thing out of his mouth was to help me. That's quite lovely, isn't it? I explained to him that he would want things for himself and his son. He should want things, for himself and his son. I hope he understands I want him to pour into himself because he doesn't. Okay. Interesting question, Danny. Hey, Nat Nat. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're here. Okay. So let's have a look. You're wanting to have a look at the relationship though, Danny. So let's just see what Spirit says. Because in a way that's like Greg's journey, isn't it? And you can support him, but ultimately I suppose he does have to work that out himself. But it's nice that he's with you and that you're not just gonna take. He's coming from a place of, there's some pain here, some suffering. Ten of Swords is undoubtedly a card of pain in the past. So it's interesting that you said, he'd never maybe even asked himself that question. About what do you want, It's amazing how many people can go through life and have not been asked how they feel. Children, sometimes with their parents, they're not ever asked how they feel, what they want. And people can go their whole lives without being able to check in on themselves in that way. I asked question to see what he's going to do. He said he was once so depressed that he could not shower. So here we go. This is him crashing out. He would give his all to people who treat him poorly and give himself nothing that's not good, that's unhealthy. Okay, so history with depression, maybe old wounds, betrayals, childhood wounds, relationships, being that person who is, used and abused and chewed up in a relationship. Let's see, what I'm going to ask is, Danny, is like, how do you, because there's only so much, Greg isn't here, so we can't speak with him. You're not going to be one of these people, but how do you deal with this in him is, I think, the most useful question in this. So how do you deal with this kind of aspect of him and where he's coming from? So Spirit, how should Danny approach this in Greg? I feel like this is his energy again, more than your energy. Let me check in, because King of Pentacles, does he have this other side to him, that is like, there's maybe, a more healthy side of him that is, or this is potential of who he can be, this King of Pentacles, someone with very good work ethic, someone who is really can be quite savvy. The King of Pentacles can be financially successful, career-wise, and is of great support as well. Someone that you can rely on, but they do have boundaries, okay? So I feel like there's this other aspect of him He can do so many amazing things, but he holds himself back. So this is him, the other side of him. Yes, this is him, sort of his depressed side, his used and abused side, but this is the King of Pentacles of who he can be. And I feel like Spirit is saying, focus on this aspect of him, of appease to his King of Pentacles, almost like act as if he is already this King of Pentacles. He's very handy, yeah, he's an amazing partner, but I need him to tap into this other side of him. You can't make someone do that, but you could treat them like this person. I mean, I don't know if therapy even or anything like that would be an option to him, if he has access to that, online therapy. How open is he to exploring these issues? I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, almost treat him as this King of Pentacles. Don't treat him like a broken person, if that makes sense. Final message, please, from Spirit, of what else Danny can do. What can she do? Please clarify. Ace of Swords. You continue to speak the truth, Danny. You probably are already pulling him up on this. You know, Ace of Swords is about cutting through the noise, cutting through the nonsense, cutting through his negative narrative in a way, pulling him up on like, don't talk about yourself like that. You know, you need to, you know, you can be that voice, that voice of encouragement, of truth, of clarity. You can see that, you have that clear sight. Like to his Ten of Swords, you are this fresh start and new beginning and clarity that flies in the face of this kind of bad view of himself. So yeah, I don't sugarcoat anything. So you can be tough in that way, and you can just be direct, challenge that negativity within him. And you said you can told him you can do anything he puts his mind to, and that's really all that you can do. But that's powerful. Yeah, you might be the first person, Danny, in his life who has spoke like this to him, have given him that clarity. So don't underestimate how valuable that can be. It will sink in, but it will take time. King of Pentacles, you know, it requires patience. He's healing with you. So give him time, give him space, be patient, and just be the voice of clarity and the voice of truth, Danny. And understand that, you know, which you seem to get a grasp on already, he's coming from quite a dark place, and maybe you're the first person who ever said, you know, what do you want to do? What do you want? So you're on the right track, and he is the King of Pentacles. He is the Ten of Swords, the light and the dark, the shadow and the light. Yeah, we all have it. And then this is you as the Ace of Swords. He feels better with me, but I don't want him to depend on me heavily. Yeah, he said he's never met anyone in his life who speaks to him like I do. Well, there we go. Yeah, confirmation there. So, yeah, you can say these things and then you have to sort of release that. Like, you can't make people understand, and it takes time to sink in. So don't push it, but just say it. Say what you think. Speak truthfully to him, be clear. You're his cheerleader, really, and then just take a step back and leave it to him. He is healing. He is in the process of healing with you. Love and light, Danny. Veni, my love, are you here? Please let me know and post your question. We have Veni, and then we have Samreen. This is Hannah, who has decided to join us, for anyone who's wondering. You too, Danny. Hey, Veni. Can I expect a marriage proposal commitment from Sunjay? So I don't do yes, no questions or timelines, Benny. So if you want to rephrase that question. Hey, Samreen. I'm just going to close the list because it's filling up. So I'm going to have to close the list. Bear with me 1 second, guys. So we have Benny. Like I say, I don't do yes, no questions. So if you want to rephrase that, I don't do timelines. And I am, yes, you did, Kerry. I am posting the list now. Samreen, do you want to post your question? So Venny, I don't do yes, no questions. If you want to rephrase your question, don't do yes, no, don't do timeline. Samreen, if you want to go ahead and post your question, and Venny, I will circle back to you if you want to rephrase your question. So Samreen asks, Seer, I want to know about my ex feelings towards me. I haven't done any manifestation work either. Okay, I see myself doing because I'm already going through a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm leaving the matters to divine timing. Okay, that sounds good. You know, if you sometimes absolutely our energy needs to be placed elsewhere. Thank you, Venny. I will read for you after Samreen. So let's have a look at your ex feelings towards you. Like you say, Samreen, you've paused on the manifestations. Whoa, I'm going to take that. The cards are all boxed as well, when I shuffled for that. So some heartache, some heartbreak going on with some feelings towards you, Samreen, which is interesting. They feel some pain, they feel some loss when it comes to you. And mixed up and messed up because all the cards flipped. Tell me more, Spirit, tell me more. A tangible offer coming through, a new beginning. So when it comes to you, Samreen, they are in their feelings about you, and the Ace of Pentacles would say that they are ruminating, I would say, at this focus, ruminating on fresh start, new beginning, reaching out. Can you see how there's this large pentacle, which is bright, isn't it? It's positive. It's like the bright of the sun. and it's been presented as a gift. And the Ace is about new beginnings and fresh starts, Sunreen. So this tells me he cares, it bothers him, it causes him heartache, and he is feeling some sadness around this loss. And he is thinking about some kind of fresh start or new beginning with regards to this connection. If he'll do that or not, I don't know, because we've seen false starts in the past. But that's where he's at now. So we're doing an energy check-in, aren't we? For now, to here. This is his energy, Sunreen. So both of these cards are his energy. So the heartache is like the catalyst to, how do I stop this suffering? How do I stop this pain? We need to look at new beginnings, reconnection with you. So I think he's like ruminating on how to reach out to you, because this is an offering. Ace of Pentacles is an offering and a new beginning. One more. Of actions, likely actions. So this is what he's thinking. This is what he's feeling. What are his likely next actions? Four of Pentacles, scared to take the risk, which is what I was feeling, but I didn't have clarity. But here is clarity. Four of Pentacles has a kind of stuck energy. There is a fear of taking a risk, and they have some kind of level of stability and level of security. When we see this Four of Pentacles, it's about having a bit but not having a lot. This is more, I feel like, on, you know, an emotional level. It's not about money or stuff, you know, material world stuff. It's about feelings this time around in this context. And the Four of Pentacles is like when you're suffering, you're in some kind of pain. But with the Four of Pentacles, it's like, but you know, I have some level of stability, some level of security. It's not a lot, but and I don't want to rock the boat. So even though he is considering, I would say, ruminating, reaching out, moving forward this offering, his lack of wanting to take a risk is holding him back right now. I hope that resonated, Sunreen. So, Veni, my love, this is for you. So let's have a look at what the month of August will bring in terms of relationship. What's the energy around that? And obviously, you have someone. Let's check their name again. Sanjay is in the picture. So let's have, what we are now, 21st of July. So we'll have a look at the energy in August. What can you expect? Benny, this is for you. Ooh, the Empress. Very, very positive, Benny. So the Empress card is feeling good about yourself, feeling in a good place, a good position, okay? The Empress is where, like, what comes to mind when I see this is, particularly today for you, Venny, is like sitting pretty. I feel like you'll be in a good position. So this could indicate, you know, an offer, a proposal. Like I say, I don't do yes, no, but I do read the energy of the situation. And the Empress is a very abundant energy as well. So it's a feeling, it's, you know, that you'll be feeling abundant. You won't be in a state of lack. You won't be in a state of chasing. And also this is how you are viewed by others, I believe. So the Empress brings kind of queen energy. She is the divine feminine. So good omen here. Good omen. So it might be that in August or by the end of August, Venny, after you'll be sitting pretty, and I feel like that the ball will be in your court. Maybe if you accept a proposal, you'll be in a good position is what I'm hearing. You'll be in somewhat of a position of power, okay? So the power will be in your hands. Look how confident this Empress is, yeah? The light is a bit strangeness, you can't fully, but yeah. One more, Spirit. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. More of the same. The Nine of Pentacles is almost like a mini Empress energy, because the Nine of Pentacles is someone who is viewed very well, viewed as attractive, someone who is in they're again a kind of a position of power in the sense that they're not chasing anything, they are attracting. The Nine of Pentacles is kind of okay with themselves on their own as well. They like enjoy their own company, they are independent. And what that means is that it's this kind of energy of like, I don't need you. I might want you in my life, I might want to accept this proposal, but I don't need it. Like almost that I've got other options, I've got other choices, I'll have other proposals. So that's the whole feeling of August for you, Venny. It's very like comfortable, and that so maybe as well comes with this advice is remember that this is who you are. So where if you do receive a proposal, remember that that's not your only choice, and that you will have other suitors and other options, okay? So only move forward with it if you feel that this is right. Like the choice is with you, you have options, you have choices, you have a lot to offer. So move through the space with that energy, and that's what August looks to be very fruitful and very abundant for you. Hope that resonated. So Miller, my love, if you are here, please go ahead and post your question. We have Miller and we have Nettie. So what I'm asking with, for anyone who, I'll wait until you post your questions until I, basically like if anyone, Nettie, I know that you often ask for a general reading. I think it's now more helpful to ask at least what area of your life that you'd like to focus on. Is it work? Is it money? Is it, do you have, you know, emotional struggle going on at the moment? I think to move away from general readings are more meaningful. So for Nettie, if you want to, let us say, I think there's just a delay in the financial reading. Okay. So let's have a look the current energy around financial and money for Nettie, please, Spirit. No problem, Samreen. Hopefully you can watch that back. So Spirit, tell me about Nettie and the energy around finances, the advice. There we go. Oh, nice. Queen of Pentacles, couldn't ask for a better card. So Queen of Pentacles is another very abundant card. Queen of Pentacles is worldly wise, is financially successful. So if you are having money struggles, this is a positive omen to say that things will improve, that more money will be coming in. Queen of Pentacles is just someone who is consistent, does the work that is needed. She's worldly wise, okay? Like she has this is how you need to approach it. So you may already be doing this. So the universe is just saying you were doing good, keep moving forward. If there is any struggle or blockages, then you need to show up as this Queen of Pentacles, being consistent, hold your water. There's no need to sort of do anything rash or make any rash movements. The Queen of Pentacles, though, is savvy, so she's not going to waste her time or waste her energy on stuff that isn't going to reward her and value her. Queen of all the queens in the deck, okay, know their value. So that could be a message for you, Nettie, okay, about know your value. And keep working towards this goal of becoming, your version of the Queen of Pentacles, because you have that potential. Also about mindset. So the Queen of Pentacles has a very abundant mindset as well. So not falling into a state of lack. If you use manifestation, then remaining in an abundant mindset and doing what you can to do that. So mental discipline, meditation, journaling. Do stay in your Queen of Pentacles energy, and this will bring in abundance for you. I hope that resonated, Nettie. So Kristen, my love, you are next. I'll just do an updated list, actually. I hope the connection's all right, guys. I think it did dip out for a bit there. I think it's like I use OBS. Sometimes I think it's that. So next up we have Miller, there we go. Go ahead, it's just been passed. Miller, go ahead and post. You just missed, so well, it wasn't that long ago, so by all means post. And I'll read for Kristen if you're here though. Hey Facilla, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Readings are closed for today, but I will be back on Friday if you are able to check in then and receive a free reading. Facilla then, please do join us on Friday. I just confirmed the time of when I go live on the day before, the night before on Thursday. And then you can also pre-book as well, just so you can secure your spot. So Miller, go ahead, post your question. I'm not sure if Kristen is here, so I'll just keep it moving. Oh, interesting, Miller. Do you see success and financial fulfillment if I go back working as a tattoo artist and put effort into the field? Interesting. So Spirit, tell me about the energy surrounding going back to being a tattoo artist for Miller. What would that bring? Ooh, Judgment, Major Arcana. So there's still quite a lot of potent energy in this area, Miller, for you, okay? Judgment card is a card of karma, which is quite interesting. It's about what you have put into the past. coming back to you. Be that good, be that bad. Okay? So what's the history, I wonder, of this? There's a lesson to be learned in this. I'm going to pull another card. Why did it end in the first place? Did it get too difficult? Did it end badly? Was it something you loved and you just had to stop? The Lovers. I almost feel like it's inevitable, Miller, that you will go back to this. Because the Lovers card is this like deep connection here to this craft, okay? You're obviously an artist to have the ability to do this, literally a tattoo artist. And 2 major arcanas have come through for you, Miller. So you say, I did not find a good environment, okay, and then the pandemic came and I lost hope and trust in myself. So yes, maybe that's the lesson as well about self-belief and having faith in yourselves, because the Lovers card I feel like this is something that you love, okay? And that there is a deep and profound connection to this work. There we go. And you just said, and I love it. So this might be the only creative field I might be able to make a job and love it. Exactly. To be able to make money from something that we love is incredibly powerful. And this is a karmic journey, Miller. No, your English is perfect. Your English is perfect. This is a karmic journey that you're on with, you are a creative person, you are an artist, and both these cards are very encouraging to say, we've got to revisit this. We've got to try again, Miller. And, the timing wasn't right for their, circumstance, like not being able to find a good environment. I can really relate to that you need to be surrounded by supportive people, particularly when it's artistic and creative, in order to let that flow and to feel good about what you were doing. You need to be surrounded by, like-minded people and find your crew, find your team, your spiritual family even. So I would get back out there, Miller. The spirit is saying, I feel like it's like you have to go for this. You have to give this another go. Okay, so keep us posted. How exciting. What an exciting job. I would feel like I would love to do something like that. So talented, so talented. So keep us posted, Miller. Spirit says, yes, get out there. Okay, so Sarah, my dear, are you here, my love? So for those asking where they are on the list is posted regularly. You just need to check in the chat. There's lots of updates in the chat. So, please don't queue push. Like I say, the list about finding out where you are is in the chat regularly. That's all you need to do, is find the list and have a look. You are so welcome, Miller. I'm excited for you. Sarah says, what's coming up for my finances for this week? Any bit of improvement. let's have a look. So this week, that's like quite a short timeline, Sarah. So I'm gonna say the near future and open that out, okay? So like I say, I don't do timelines, and a week is like immediate, you know, like it's not even a millisecond in universal time. So I'm gonna do near future for you, okay? So Spirit, what is coming up in Sarah's finances in the near future, please, Spirit? Three of Wands. So we are waiting for something to come in, yeah? Three of Wands is, let me know about that. It suggests to me, okay, that you may have already put some plans in motion, okay? Because the Three of Wands is about looking to the future, okay? Looking ahead and making plans, okay? And making, so in financial, this is in the area of finance, connected to your ambitions. Now, you may have already done this, or this is something that you need to do, okay? I kind of feel like you've already done it, but let me know, confirm either way. And now it's like this woman is standing on the edge of a cliff, and she's waiting for these ships to come in, or this is the money to come in for you, okay? The finances to come in. And this is the promise that, yes, it will happen for you, Sarah. The money will come through. The ships will come to your shore, and then it's like on to the next step, okay? Like time to get kind of busy again. So this could be a job offer. It could be, I don't know, where you work, where you're hoping that, you know, and expecting this money to come through from. But if you've set those plans in motion, then just this is the saying, yeah, it's on its way to you. Or if you have a plan and you have an idea and you feel inspired to do something to bring in more money, then you need to take action and do that and make that happen, because that, into, you know, as well is the promise that the money will come through. You're onto something, you're onto the right idea with whatever that is. So there we go. Yeah, there are plans in motion. So that's what I felt like you'd already done that. This is you now. And this is to say, it's okay. We can chill. We just hold space for the money to come through now. The ship, can you see the ship's there? They're on the way in. They will arrive at your shore, and then it'll be like, okay, on to the next step of this plan. So I hope that hits how it's supposed to hit and resonates for you, Sarah. But now we just need to trust it is on its way. So Sinise, my love, please go ahead and post your question. Hey Noza, the list is closed for today, but I am live. I will be live again on Friday. So if you can make it then, please do join us. Queen, for you too as well. The list is closed for today, but please do join us on Friday. I post the booking, the pre-booking on Thursday, so just watch out for that. So, hi Sinise, will I go travel in the next month? So I don't do yes, no questions, Sinise. And with general readings, so I'm asking people to focus on a specific area. So if you want to look at travel, I'll have a look at the energy around it, okay? Is Spirit encouraging you to go traveling. Like I say, I don't do timelines, I don't do yes no questions, so I'll just say near future. We'll open it up. What does Spirit comment about you traveling, about the energy around that for you? And then after Sanice, we have Shraddha, so just be ready to post your question, Shraddha, after Sanice. Let's have a look at the energy surrounding this for Sanice travel in the near future. What does Spirit say? Ooh, there is something around travel for you, Sanice. If you are, this is encouraging you to do this if you can, because Ten of Cups is the card of emotional fulfillment. There is a lot of emotional fulfillment that can be gained from traveling for you. So new experiences, connections with people that may be made, or if you are going traveling with a loved one, family, friends, close ones, I don't know the situation. So this could be the deepening of bonds. You're filling your cup, okay, by doing this. If you would be solo traveling, then you could meet some emotionally fulfilling relationships on that path. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else about traveling with Sanice? Ooh, King of Swords. So, I don't know if this is someone who is already in your energetic field, someone maybe you would be considering traveling with. This King of Swords energy can be an air sign, can have this prominent in their chart. Someone who is quite a tough cookie, speaks their mind, is committed to their truth, has a lot of personal power. So this is someone that they may already be in your energy field. Traveling could deepen that bond, or this could be someone who you would meet on your travels. So take what resonates with your situation. If you're in a relationship, if you're single, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be just an influential person who is coming into your energy field. But this person, which talks about is connected to emotional fulfillment, making connections. And this King of Swords is part of that journey. Okay, this is an important person. May already be in your life. Deepen the connection, deepen the bond. If it's someone new, if you don't recognize these traits, then this is someone new coming in who will be influential and in some way fill your cup. Okay, so yeah, green light on traveling, lot to be gained from that if you choose to do that. It would be a positive experience. I'm glad that resonates, Denise. So Shraddha, if you are here, please go ahead, post your question. After Shraddha, we have Judah, my love, if you are here. I'll post the list again for where we're at. So we have Shraddha, then we have Judite. If you want to give me a shout, you're very welcome, Denise. I'm glad it resonates. Okay, Shraddha asks, what are the messages from my spirit guides regarding my connection with M? I'm just obsessed with the outcome. So what's the relationship with M, please, Shraddha? Is this an ex? Is this someone that you're interested in? Tell me more. Thank you, Judite. going to wait for Shraddha to clarify. Okay. So while Shraddha is clarifying, like I say, tell me about your relationship with N, who this person is to you. And I'll read for Judite in the meantime. So Judite, what is the energy of my colleague? Andrea. So is Andrea, Judite, are they going to start managing you? Have they moved into a managerial position? Maybe. Okay. Let's see. You don't know yet. Okay. So we're looking, might that move forward, yeah? Okay, so what is the energy of my colleague Andrea starting to manage you? So Spirit, tell me the energy around this. Seven of Wands. Tell me more, Spirit. Okay. So Seven of Wands is like a defensive energy, like having to hold space. I feel like you pretty worried about this happening. Nine of Swords talks about anxiety, worry, fear. Seven of Wands, like I say, is a kind of defensive, it is a defensive energy. This person is like under siege and having to work quite hard at holding space, okay, holding their position. And I feel like this is you. Yeah, she's difficult. So this feels there's tension around this, and I can completely understand if this is a difficult person. This is not going to be great. So Spirit, thank you for confirming. Now, interestingly though, Nine of Wands, okay, this is you anxious, this is worried. Now what comes with the Nine of Wands is that the caveat to this card is that these fears will actually be unfounded. So you're thinking worst case scenario. Spirit says that's unlikely, okay? What's the likely outcome though, Spirit? So I want to know, how about if it did happen, what would this bring? What would that look like? I feel like of where the mindset that you're at now, that's what would be helpful. So if she did get this position, Spirit, what would that look like for Judite? Not as bad as you would think. So it would look like the King of Swords. So you do have to be careful around this person, okay? What the advice, okay, is, so the King of Swords is someone that you do alongside with this Emperor as well. This is like a tough cookie, okay? Like, and maybe not in the best way, like say difficult. Like, can be quite harsh with their communication and controlling. So the only way to deal with these people is in some ways to protect yourself, which maybe goes back to this Seven of Wands, about like you will have to be careful about what words you choose. You will have to defend yourself and have boundaries and just keep it very professional. Keep it almost like, I feel like almost like minimal communication. Yeah, like here's this work, what do you need from me? And try not to get embroiled in the toxicity. I feel like you will be able to handle it. You have that ability, Judite, but it will require practice. It will bring its own tension. Okay? It won't really look as bad as what you might think. But this person is no doubt has like some control issues here with this King of Swords alongside the Emperor. This is someone who is into power, I suppose, in some ways, and maybe isn't the best person to necessarily have that power. So if this moves forward, if this happens, you will need to protect yourself and be careful of how you communicate and speak with clarity and be assertive is a word as well. So in order not to be pushed around, I think, by this person, Judite, ultimately, there is the potential to try and push you around. So it's good that you say she cannot have that power. So that's a great mindset to have, to not allow someone to have that power over you. And to have clear boundaries, keep it professional. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be as bad as what you feel, but it will be like it'll be a learning curve, and you will have to protect yourself. This person, that clarifies why this is here as well, that you will have to do a lot to hold your space and not allow this person to overwhelm you. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates. Okay. So Shraddha, this is for you. Shraddha asks, what are the messages from my spirit guides regarding my connection with M? We are in the talking stage, but not in a relationship. Okay. I'm glad that makes sense, Judite. I'm glad that makes sense. Keep us posted. Okay, so let's, Shraddha, this is for you. Just give me a shout that you're here. Let's have a look at the energy between you and M. shredder. Ooh, interesting. Just had this. Tell me more, Spirit. Why the Seven of Wands? Seven of Wands is like, again, like I say, kind of defensive energy, feeling under attack. Why the Seven of Wands, Spirit? Would you believe it? The same cards have just come out that came out for Judite. So I know that you said, like, you're obsessed with, like, this outcome, Shredder, and I feel like there's maybe, like, the feelings are pretty quite intense around this. Maybe it keeps you up at night. Maybe you're worried about the outcome of this. Nine of Swords, just like the message for Judith was that these fears will be unfounded. Try to manage these feelings, these anxieties, and go into that kind of worst case scenario. How do we do that? We need to ground our energy. And Seven of Wands is a similar of kind of having to, I feel like maybe that you think this, you don't have much faith in this situation, or faith in yourself, maybe, that you, about believing and thinking that this is going to happen. I don't know where that comes from. Yes, too much overthinking. So try to take the pressure off. That's what I feel like the advice is. That will help with this situation. If you manifest, you know, look into building in a daily practice to help manage anxiety, manage overthinking, manage the maybe feeling of kind of lack of control, feeling under siege in some ways, almost by your own emotions or by the situation. It's a little bit all-consuming maybe. So in order to help this connection, we need to turn the volume down, okay? That's what I feel like. We need to get more centered and grounded. Can you tell me about M's feeling for Shraddha, like where they're at? Because I feel like this is all you. So now let's have a look at them. Ooh. They're going through some transformation of their own, which feels, because if this is quite a new connection, this feels like this is something that's going on separately in their life. It could be delaying things for you if you feel like this connection is not moving forward fast enough as it should. Death card for them is that they are, some old energies are dying out, are being cleared out. They're in a period of transformation and starting anew in some way. They may be, it could be in any area for them. It could be something internally, it could be something externally, but the Death card always talks about big change. So, like I say, that could cause some delays in this connection because they're going through something heavy, something to be mindful of. You might be aware of that, you might not be, but that's what they're going through. Some kind of emotional upheaval, not to do with this connection. What you need to focus on your side of the street is managing your overthinking and feelings, and trying to, I would heavily advise you to focus on manifesting the outcome that you desire, journaling, visualization, meditation, to try and get some kind of sense of control in this situation and bringing through the desired outcome, the ideal outcome that you want, Shraddha. And trying to just let things unfold naturally as they should, so not forcing this situation. Because it could be a timing issue as well if they're in this death energy. So I hope that resonated. Just move these around. And Sonali, thank you. You are next. Let's have a look at your question again. It is Sarab, current energy towards you, less contact. So was this yes, keep us posted. Try to work on your grounding, work on manifestation if that's something you're interested in. I'm glad it resonated, Shradha. So Sonali, just tell me a little bit more about the history of this connection with your person. I know you said that there is less contact now. Was this a relationship? Was it something new and there was contact and it lessened, etc., etc.? Tell me a bit more about the history. After Sonali, we have Nat, if you are still here. And then last but not least, Kerry Ann, if you are still here. Just give me a shout if you... that wasn't... Just let me know that you are here. So Shraddha, no, that's not how that reading, that card read. Just go back and rewatch it if you need to. That was like their energy. Okay, so this is something just very new, Sonali, okay? But the contact is waning, so let's have a look at what's going on in this connection. So Spirit, please tell me about this, what's going on with this connection with Sonali and Sarab. You're welcome, Shraddha. So Sonali, this is for you. What is the energy between you and Sarab? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Oh. Look at you, this is you waiting for a text to come in, for communication to come in, I think. 2 of Wands. But it's not over because of the 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands still tells me that there is potential and that 2 of Wands is, there's a 2 there, which is my first kind of green flag or indicator, yeah. Both your energies showing up here. And the 2 of Wands as well is about planning for the future in some ways. So even if it was just planning a future date, but it's kind of like those connections are still flowing and still continuing. I'm going to ask though about the connection, communication getting less, if you feel like it's slowing down. Ooh, the Devil card. Okay. I don't know what's going on with them, but this tells me with that there is some devil energy that they are caught up in. The devil energy is when we get caught up in old habits, even old connections, okay? Like there could be another connection that they're involved in that isn't good for them, but is still present in their energy field, and that they are getting, that they're involved with that. Or it could be with devil energy, it can be many things, okay? It could even be that they are avoidant, that that's something that they do, and that they are burying their head in the sand in work. It can be that they, even something like that, they would be off partying, and it's not related to you, okay? It's something that they have in them. We all have it, really. We all have our devil energy, and it's toxic behaviors and old habits that die hard, that come back to rope us in, and we're all kind of at varying degrees of how we're handling that and managing that. And for some reason, this is what's going on for them and causing them to the communication to go more quiet on you. Now, what is hopeful though is that they will emerge from this with the Knight of Pentacles, and that communication will get back more on track, because this is a Knight of Pentacles coming forward to you, moving forward with an offering, presenting this pentacle and saying, in their kind of good energy, their good selves, free of this devil energy, okay? Like, they've put that to bed for now. Something to be mindful of, that, I mean, like I say, we all have this devil energy, but it's not anything to do with you. Wait, give as much time and energy. How much patience do you have for this person to work out there? To how much license, how much grace do you give them? That's up to you. But that's what's going on for them behind the scenes, and it could be a toxic connection from the past, that they're talking to someone else. That's not reflective of you and their feelings for you even, but it's come back into their energy field. I do see them coming back to you though as their kind of good self, but you might be kind of over them by that point and kind of not interested, particularly with this being new, and we're straight into devil energy. How much grace do we really want to give someone? But that's free will, and that's up to you, Sonali. Don't let them keep you waiting too long, yeah? You're welcome, Sonali, you're welcome. So, I don't know who else is here. So if last on the list we have, you might not still be here, but Nat, you are next, and Kerry Ann, you are next. So if you are here, please do let me know. I'll just give a few minutes for the chat to catch up, because sometimes it's delayed for me. But if not, and Anshuman, hey Anshuman, I'll be live on Friday. If you missed the list today, then please do join us on Friday. I go live every Monday, Friday. And on Thursday, I'll I will confirm the time, and also open the pre-booking list so you can secure your spot. But I don't think anyone else is here. Nat or Kerry, I don't think is here. So I'll go ahead and end the live and wish everyone a good day, a good evening, wherever you are. And hopefully catch you on Friday, my loves. Love and light. Take care.